Another historic day in capital markets. Ed and I are here. Ed?
Yeah. This was epic and historic.
Coronavirus. Looks like the market caught the coronavirus. It's got a COVID-19 look about it. It's looking a little. It was looking a little.
What's the
peaked.
D stand for?
Now it looks depressed.
I saw coronavirus.
Yeah.
No, but COVID. What's the
COVID.
D?
D? Drugs.
Damn.
Duh. Dopey. No. Dumb. Gold now at 1678. Okay, so let's recap. What happened today?
Yeah.
S&P opened up 10% lower. Dow opened up 2,000 points down.
S&P opened up 7% lower.
10%. 7? I thought it was 10%.
Well, when it hit 7%, they stopped it.
Maybe it was 10% of the pre-market?
It might. You know what? It doesn't matter.
It opened lower.
It's open lower.
It opened at a historic low. At least in the context of 2020.
Yeah, this was one of the bad days.
Bad. And so now look what's happening though. Gold is up at 1677. Gold was trading range bound all day between 16. Let's see. It touched 1700 Sunday night, and then was promptly beaten into submission by the dark forces of the U.S. dollar. And now here it is ratcheting back at 1677. Now that the American market guys have gone home again. God, if this didn't sound so much like conspiracy theory, I think it was a conspiracy.
Well, and of course the big wrench was the Saudi. Saudi said, okay, no deal. Let's just see what happens, and let's sell the oil, whatever.
Well, so the oil, okay. There's a good. So 1676. Now it's trading. Now it's a bit range bound. 1674 to 1676. Did get beaten down. February 28th.
I don't think I saw gold below 1665 today.
No,
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Actually, I don't think I saw it. It dipped down below 1670 a little bit, a couple of times. But then, so let's see. What did we end up with an S&P day? What happened, Ed? How did it end up?
S&P, here we go. We got it right here. S&P, thank you very much. 2746 it looks like. Somewhere around there. 2746. That's I think, let me just put up this.
Okay. So essentially.
Wow, right at the lows. Is that right at the lows?
Close to it. So actually it got down as low as 2737.
Yeah, so
78.
2764 is, it looks like
so it closed, basically shut the day down at 7.6% loss. So the Fed didn't even step in at the end of the day, or the Fed rather, the working group didn't step in at the end of the day to prop the sucker up. So what does that tell you? That tells me that they are happy to let it fly a little further lower. A little, maybe a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe the mandarins up there in the ivory tower of the Fed have said, you know what, this market needs to be reset. We've let it get out of control, and we've created an expectation for, adding up 15% every 6 weeks on the S&P, and we know that's not sustainable without creating a vertical incline, which is definitely not sustainable, no matter what kind of drugs you're on.
Yeah, it's so much going on. It's hard to digest. You look at numbers and you think, well, did I just see that number? Or was that is there a 100 handle missing there? Like, in other words, you look at a number and say, oh yeah, we're moving up. Then you think, wait a minute.
Right.
It's hard to keep track.
So the upshot of this, what is the upshot? Well, gold is going higher. The S&P is going lower.
Well, we know we're near the recent lows on the S&P, right?
Yeah.
Here we go. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I think the S&P closed right almost at its lows.
No.
27.46.
Okay, look at this chart. This is the
one
price of gold.
That's the one I'm looking at. Oh, that one, yeah.
Relative.
See that?
Look at that. Those gaps, they're heading for each other.
Yeah, they're heading.
That's like a magnetic force.
From the what galaxy would that be from? You think Andromeda?
I think it's from Cygnus X24.
Okay, well
look at Facebook. Facebook dropped precipitously towards the end of the day here.
Did?
Yeah, closed at 168.60 on big volume right at the end of the day.
That's what I show. Same. I must have the same system.
You
as
must be looking at the same chart as me.
Yeah.
Look at that, eh?
Yeah.
And Walmart actually took it on the chin at the end of the day.
Did it?
Yeah. Went from 118.22 down to 117.13 in the last.
Yeah. I see it now in the pre-market. It's trading at around 112 in the aftermarket. Sorry, the aftermarket, 112.
Amazing.
You know what?
So Amazon also. So everything is selling off in the aftermarket, which means, you know why it's selling off? I'll bet you because the Fed or whatever forces there are that jump in at the end of the day to turn the market around, usually indicating that the cavalry has arrived and support is being, in the form of liquidity is being pumped into the market. They didn't get that signal at the end of today.
No.
The forces that be said, maybe we're not going to try to waste bullets against a force that is many times greater than even our own unlimited force of delusion and hocus pocus at the Fed. They said, maybe we'll just get out of the way of this one for a while. Let's see where this lands. And the sell-off in the aftermarket of the FANG and the FANG Plus stocks is just pure indication that is exactly what is happening.
You know when Apple first warned, and they were the first one to come out and say, yeah, you know what, maybe expect a little slowdown. The stock went down a few bucks, maybe $6, $7, $8. I think down to about 316, 315, 317, then rallied back almost all the way to the high.
Jesus.
And this was after the corona, but then the coronavirus just seemed getting worse and worse and worse.
Right.
And yet,
damn,
I haven't got it yet.
Yeah. There were a couple of stocks that people were asking us about in the last segment we did at around lunchtime. They wanted to. Somebody was asking us about Afria. What did we think the chances that Afria could survive? I think that Afria has a better than average chance of continuing into some form of profitability than do a lot of its peers from the same era. People are, looking askance at Aurora in particular, which is laboring under a capital structure of over 1 billion shares. I would say that, and I say this with some non-public knowledge in mind, but I have a feeling that Aurora is going to be just fine.
Yeah, I see 90.95. Close at 95, is that right?
95 cents, Aurora.
No, that may be the U.S.
Okay. USD or THC? CBD
here
for
we
me.
Go. ACB.
Okay, so let's pull up, we're going to quickly pull up the Midas Letter.
I was wrong. It's 130 Canadian.
130 Canadian. All right.
95 U.S.
Let's take a look at the Cannabis indexes here briefly. Certainly not much in the way of expectation. Okay, so here we have the Midas Letter Canadian Cannabis Index. This is the large cap index, which none of them I think qualify. Well, there's still a few large caps on there. Come on, let's not be crazy. Let's not be hasty. But setting another record low today on volume of 31.05 million. See, here's the interesting thing is that the volumes have started to stabilize in the large caps. And does that mean that there's an end to the selling? No, it just means that there's nobody with a big position left to sell. Let's see, which market's doing the least worst? How about that? Which one's going the least worst?
Which one's going down the slowest?
Well, the CSE index looks less bad. Arguably, no, not really. I think that the large cap index still holds the most promise for the future. Which companies are constituents of the large cap index? Well, quickly we'll look here, and Canopy Growth is still the largest cap company, closed at 1805 today. Outstanding shares of 450 million. What's that? So that's still $8 billion market cap.
Is it still $8 billion?
Yeah. $18 a share times 450 million.
Yeah, 7.2.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Cureleaf lost almost $1 today, down to 576, down 13.38%. So let's see, Afria lost only 8.7%. So Trulieve lost 6.6%, down to 1126. So if we look at Canopy, Kronos, Aurora, Afria, Hexo, and Organogram as the Canadian representatives, and then we look at Charlotte's Web, Harvest Health and Recreation, Cresco Labs, Trulieve, Greenthumb, and Cureleaf as the U.S. representatives, it looks to me pretty even. They're all sucking hind tit. And obviously, if there's one thing we've learned in this current environment, is absent a healthy and somewhat robust S&P, there certainly ain't going to be any market in cannabis.
Well, and Tilray, which has been one of the big ones out of New York, I believe it was out of New York, right?
Nope.
Out west, but went to the New York Stock Exchange.
Nope, NASDAQ.
Okay, I stand corrected. Let me guess again. I get one more guess.
TLR.
The point is, the revenues for the quarter were down from the previous quarter.
Yes.
What the hell's all that about? People are smoking less.
They're smoking less.
Or they think the stuff's so good you don't have to smoke as much.
Well, that's an interesting comment.
There you go.
Because that is actually somewhat true. In
yes.
fact, not somewhat. That's actually profoundly accurate. The caliber, the quality of cannabis in terms of THC content has gone through the roof, even in the last decade, relative to where it was.
Oh, for sure.
10 years ago.
You used to buy stuff and you used to smoke like 8 joints before you even got a little buzz.
Exactly. You could sit there at a party and have a joint going at all times, a beer in one hand, joint in the other. You'd be like chippy chatty Tommy.
Chippy cho.
And that was great. Michelle McDonald says, MindMed on my radar. Good for you, Michelle. That's sounding like a rather interesting company. Want to talk a bit today about gold. Gold.
Go with gold.
We took on a client today who is now the main sponsor of the Midas Letter show. The company is called Galani Gold. Now, keeping in mind that a sponsorship means that this company pays us to speak positively about them, but in full observance of the BCSC's guidance that if you're going to talk about the good in a company, you're going to talk about the bad in equal measure.
And what about the ugly?
Well, the bad and the ugly. Here's the thing. The bad and the ugly are generally one and the same.
Well, I don't know.
Well, okay, so let's talk about Galani Gold.
The bad, okay.
On track to produce 60,000 ounces in 2020.
Paying off debt.
Paying off debt because why? The price of gold is making it possible for them to pay off more debt.
They're generating nice cash flow.
All-in cash cost blended across the two mines of $1,000 per ounce. Correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, you can't? Good, because I'm not wrong. Meaning a profit today of $677 per ounce, assuming that's close to what they get for it.
Look, if you can generate cash flow and you've got a lot of land and you've already got production, you can fund your exploration without dilution.
What? Come on!
I want some Galani Gold!
This is the thing. So also, by way of full disclosure, I have warrants in this company. Do I have warrants? No, I don't have warrants. I have options in this company. Everybody here has an option in Galani Gold.
Okay, so let's take a look. Let's see what it says. Here it goes. Survey says 8.5 cents. Now that's not
8.5 cents.
This thing's getting cheaper just by the virtue of the fact that they keep.
This is the thing. Gold goes up. So gold has gone up. What's year to date? What is the price of gold year to date?
Oh, yeah. This is much better buy.
Yeah. Okay. So let's say year to date, gold has gone from.
Yeah. Year to date, like last 6 months.
Well, year to date would be since the beginning of January 2020. So 1675, okay, so it's trading in the same range. Actually, it's now squeaking up against 1680 right now again. See, this is the thing. So what is the value proposition of Galani Gold relative to all of the other gold equities you can buy in the junior market? Here's the main difference. Galani is not a gold explorer. Galani is producing gold profitably from 2 mines. So
one's in Africa.
No, they're both in Africa.
Okay,
one's in South
East
Africa. One's in Botswana. No, they're both in southern Africa.
Just saying if you knew.
So South Africa, both in good jurisdictions. Neither one of them faced with any of the challenges of South Africa in the context of the power. Not a problem for Galani Gold at their South African mine, and certainly not a problem in Botswana. So what are the negative attributes about Galani Gold? You don't own enough. You don't own any? What? That's a negative? No, just kidding. That's not what the BCSC had in mind when they said they want you to talk about the negative. Let's see. Okay, where are the risks for Galani Gold?
Well,
price
of gold drops precipitously.
The price of gold drops precipitously, which we've seen in the past can happen without warning.
Yes. But it looks like...
So there's one risk that you just cannot plan for, you cannot predict. That's one risk. Let's talk about country risks. South Africa. Now, South Africa is not a country without risks. It has an aging power grid that is suffering from a lack of investment, and things are expected to get worse before they get better.
Right.
That is a risk no matter how you slice it. Political risk in South Africa is definitely higher than it is in Botswana, which has been very stable, but in South Africa, the political climate has become a little bit more volatile. And so what are the chances that becomes even more volatile to the point where there's operational risk for Galani Gold? Those are all legitimate risks. And so in the spirit of the BCSC's desire for us to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly,
Is there a risk that what kind of life do these mines have, James? They got 2 mines that are producing. They're going to go to 60,000 ounces, which is a lot.
Well, you can't, until they have conducted termination drilling. In other words, they've discovered the limits of the deposit on a lateral plane as well as a vertical plane.
Right.
You cannot say what the life of mine is.
Okay.
If the grades decrease over time, meaning you're heading the edges of the deposit, then you're approaching the end of the life of mine. At this point, there is no known end of life of mine as far as I know, because Galani just continues to prove up enough to keep those mills running. And so,
are they exploring actively on their unexplored land?
We'll tell you what, Ed, I think they are. Actually, if you want to know about Galani Gold, watch this video.
Galani Gold was set up in 2011. It was set up to acquire Mopani, which is an asset in Botswana, and it was bought from IAMGOLD. And we saw a great opportunity there. It was a little bit of an unloved asset, but rightly so, because it wasn't the right size for IAMGOLD. We've transitioned it from an open pit to an underground. We've reduced the operating costs from 1,400 down to 1,050. And we've got production up to around 35,000 ounces on average and an all-in of 1,050. 2015, we decided that we needed to take that skill set, that management team that I put together, and then put them onto a different asset. And we acquired Galaxy Gold, which is here in South Africa. In the last year, we raised $10 million, and we're now putting that money into this asset. We've got the plant running now on a 15,000, and the idea is to expand it to 30,000 as we go through the year. Both operations are greenstone operations, and we're talking about wide ore bodies. So if we go to Mopani, the ore body there is about 40 to 50 metres wide, 100 metres strike, and we're doing long hole stoping. And it's mechanised mining, so small workforce. It's very easy mining. One of the reasons why we like this asset here in Galaxy is exactly the same. So the Galaxy ore body is again 40 metres wide, 100 metres strike, and we're using the same mining method. In fact, we're using the same mining contractor. The wonderful thing about Galaxy is it's sizable. We've taken it on with a 15,000 tonne plant, which we've refurbished, and the production costs there are going to be about $900 an ounce. But as we ramp it up, and we've got a plan we're putting together now to take it up to 30,000, and again the cost can go down to 800, and then we've got another plan to take it up to 60,000. And how can we do that? Well, easily, because the plant itself is scalable. It's just doing a crush mill float, and we've already bought crushers which are sized up to 60,000. We bought a second-hand mill which is sized up to 60,000, and when we get to 60,000, we're talking about all-in costs of under 700. So it's a great asset which we can scale up and reduce our costs. So we're standing in the area that we're putting in for the foundations for the new mill. When we acquired this mine, we acquired it basically out of liquidation. In the last 2-3 years, we've been refurbishing as we've been going along. But now we're doing the big push. So you can probably see up behind me that we started work on repainting, putting it back to the condition it should be in, and it'll look like Mopani in about 12 months' time from now.
I'm Wayne Hatton-Jones. I'm the Chief Operating Officer for Galani Gold. We have 2 operations, one being Mopani Gold Mine, the other one being Galaxy down in Barberton. My responsibility is to look after the operations both here and down in South Africa. In the mining industry, you get an oxide ore body and a sulfide ore body. We focus on the difficult ores, being a sulfide ore body, like Mopani and at Galaxy. We are basically doing a crush mill flotation, and we treat the concentrate here in a high cyanidation, followed by oxygen injection. And down at Galaxy, we'll be doing a crush mill float, and we'll be dispatching the concentrate to an off-taker. We make a point of actually fixing up wherever we've made an impact. Results are really good. The grass and vegetation has come back. You'll see the impala, the kudus, as well as the klipspringers. We've also put quite a few watering points in around the site for the animals to attract them, and they do come in the dry season.
So Galani is an unusual junior. It has production. A lot of juniors, you're looking at an exploration potential. We have an expansion program, so adding ounces, taking us up to potential 90,000 ounces, reducing our all-in to under 900 across the whole of the business. So if we go to Mopani, for example, when I started there was 18 expats. We're only down to 2 now. It's about transitioning skills across to the local community as well, and taking that senior management team, once we've trained everyone up, and putting them onto another asset. Long term, we have the opportunity to grow into a much bigger operation, in my view.
Do come in the dry season.
Full disclosure, Galani God, that's a good one. Galani Gold is our client, so we are paid by them to say nice things about them, and the BCSC demands that we also say horrible things about them, so here they go. Here we go, horrible things. There, that's all we can say. No, we already ran through our risk factors for Galani Gold. Galani Gold trades on the CSE, or is it the TSX Venture under the symbol GG?
GG.
Trades in Canada under the symbol GG. And again, why did we sign up with Galani Gold? Because they're not an explorer. They are a producer, people. A producer! Less risk. Less risk. They're making money. They're making money. Hand over fist. You wouldn't believe it.
They're generating about $600-700 an ounce.
667. 676. $600 or $700 per dollars per ounce. Anyways, that's just it. There's $35 million a year in profit. Don't quote me there. Top line revenue, we'll say. No, top line would be the entire cost. Never mind. Let's not trust James and his mathematics. Let's just say that James knows how to pick a good gold company, and again, and this is one of them. Again, we're not qualified to give investment advice. This isn't investment advice. Think of this in the context of advertising. But I dare you, I challenge you to find a company with the same market capitalization of Galani Gold that makes anywhere near the money that Galani Gold does. Like, come on.
I'll come back. I'll try to come back.
Try to find one.
I'll try and find
There's
one.
your mission for the night.
Yeah.
One company.
I know the small producer on Labrador or Newfoundland. Yeah.
Really?
You know the one.
No, I don't. Small
named
producer.
after a snake.
Named after a snake.
Anaconda.
Anaconda. Is there a producer?
Yes, sir.
I don't know them.
Well, we should get him on the show.
Okay.
Kevin Bullock's the new president.
No kidding.
New CEO. He's an old friend of mine. I'll get him on the show.
Oh, is that right?
What do you think?
Well, sure, why not? We got to cover all the gold companies. Because I think the great thing about that is, at least that way demonstrates we're not.
Yeah, well, you know what? They're
one.
generating cash flow. That means they can pay, their bills. I don't know.
How much gold are they mining?
I don't know.
You're bringing up a company you don't even know about.
That's why we got to get the guy on the show.
There we go. All right. Well, clearly we're going to have lots more gold content as the week goes on. We wanted you to keep an eye on the price of gold. Some people are thinking that now is a good time to rush in and buy some cannabis stocks. And while you may make a swing trade or a day trade, I don't think now is the time to position as a longer term unless you're accumulating a massive position.
I think we got with the world the way it is. Maybe this is a good time to do some trading and not get too hung up on your positions.
On your position, get too hung up on your positions.
Get too hung up on your position.
Ooh.
You know what? Be flexible.
Be flexible. Ooh.
Don't get too hung up on your position.
Don't get too hung up on your position.
Try something different.
That's our 30 market crash update for you on this Monday.
Yeah.
Unscheduled, unprecedented, and
we don't know when we're coming back, but maybe tomorrow.
Chances are we'll be back tomorrow. If shit continues to go sideways, we're going to continue to talk about the market in the context of what to do.
You know what we're going to do? We're going to get a couple fans in here in case this shit hits the fan.
A couple of fans? You mean like fans of our show?
Oh! In case the shit hits the fan.
That's just disgusting,
Jesus.
Edward. Let's try to keep this. Anyways, thank you very much. We'll be back tomorrow. Bye.